Good morning, market snipers. This is Jesse. Getting a start here right at 9 a.m. We got a lot to cover. I put in the title stock market and Bitcoin, correcting, going through the correction, everything. The DXY is pumping. The VIX is pumping. It's up 9.77%. We got the US 10-year yield up slightly at 0.07%. So we're going to cover all of that today. So welcome. And, make sure to comment and ask it if you want me to chart it. First 15 to 30 minutes, what we're going to do is chart, all the important ones I think that I've taken a look at this morning. And then the last 15 to 30 minutes, unless it runs over like it has been, the last 15 to 30 minutes, we'll go through your chart requests. Or if you have any other questions, just let me know if you have a question or you have a chart request. So fertilizer, dear Master Chief Sniper, please cover the RNDR chart based on the weekly, the 4-day, and the daily chart. Okay, no problem, fertilizer. We'll definitely check into that. Like I said, we'll do it the second half of this live stream. One way to really make sure that your asset gets charted is to be as early as fertilizer. And I'm not saying calling me Master Chief Sniper helps, but it definitely brings a smile to my face. I think it's funny. So thank you. And you're definitely the first one here. So early bird gets the worm. Who else? Who else we got? Ooh, we've got another returning person here, Shankar. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly or pronouncing it correctly. Shankar, good morning. Smiley face. Welcome back. Recognize the name. Olson, RNDR. So we got 2 requests for RNDR. What am I missing on RNDR? Well, we'll take a look at the second half. We'll get to it. So we got 2 requests for RNDR. Awesome. If anyone noticed my brand new market sniper hat, as I put it in the scrolling ticker, shout out to Jesse. There's another Jesse. We have a Jesse in the sniper Discord for more than a year. He's been a member. He owns a hat company. I believe he's in Australia. If Jesse, if you happen to be watching this, let me know. You're in Australia and your website is, I'm not getting paid for any of this. You just sent me 2 free hats and I appreciate it. And you're a member. So designyourcaps.com. So for sending me 2 market sniper hats, I appreciate it. He designed them. He created them. He shipped them to me. So I just picked, what is this? Navy blue, dark blue, right? And he sent me a brown one too. So we'll be wearing the market sniper hats, and that's thanks to Jesse, a sniper Discord member. And again, he's at designyourcaps.com. So thanks a lot. Let me just double check here, make sure everything's lined up. Yep, got it. All right. So first, we'll definitely take a look at Bitcoin. We always do. We'll probably start with the NASDAQ here, and then we'll look at the 10-year yield. We'll look at DXY. Colson, what does that say? Colson, not a request, just pointing out where to find it. Oh, awesome. Thanks for your help. I appreciate it. Equity or a crypto or a commodity. Yeah. I've been getting a lot of requests on RNDR, so I knew that one was a crypto, but I may not have known it was crypto. So thanks, Colson. I appreciate that. Let me know if it's a crypto or a stock asset, just for search purposes. So in case it's not on my Sniper Top 40 watch list, which happens to be a lot more than top 40, but the top 40 is our Sniper bot alert system. Is just 40. It's like 20 crypto assets, 20 stock and futures assets. And but this watch list has become more than the Sniper Top 40. For search purposes, if you're doing a request, like Colson said, please let me know if it's crypto or stock, and maybe even the crypto full name or the stock full name for search purposes. Especially if you're in a different country, you may have a different asset than what we're typically looking at. So, okay, let's see. Let's jump right in. We're going to take an overview on the NASDAQ weekly chart. Don't forget to smash the like button. It helps the algorithms, right? So we're talking about, the bearish divergence on the weekly chart. There was an RSI sell signal. On the daily chart, we're looking at, this was a potential lower high. Price came down, hit target 1 on the daily chart, which we'll take a look at. Then on the daily chart, it was looking like the second lower high here. I'm just doing it from a zoomed out view. I know I'm not on the daily chart. And then price just started to break down, and overall the weekly chart looks like you put in a lower high here, right? A lower high, and we were talking about that in real time on these live streams. None of this is in hindsight. We mapped it out, we stalked it, we watched it, and so it's still early in the week. It's only Tuesday, right? And the weekly candle won't close until Friday. But if the week were to close below this pivot point here, right, at about 14,000, this is the futures, so it's going to be a little bit different on the NDX and stuff like that. But if you got a weekly chart close, let me zoom in here just so everyone can see it. We've got time, right? You've got time today. We're going to spend some time together today. We try to keep it to an hour, but you know how it is. We get in the chart mix, and we just get since we are obsessed, we like to keep going and going and going and going. So this is like a weekly horizontal line. So if we did get a weekly close below here, that would be a lower low, right? So that would confirm this lower high. I always have to think about it. That would confirm this lower high. So we were talking about the lower high, but it's not confirmed until you get a close below here. But like I said, we don't wait for that as swing traders and as snipers. We're talking about it back here. And, how do we know that? Because we're looking at the daily chart on a lower time frame, right? So now that we have that here, let's change this to 2. We don't need it. We don't need the line as thick. And let's look at the daily chart. Let's drop down. So kind of going back here, we had that divergence that we have talked about. We talked about this lower high. Price came down, hit target 1. We're talking about back here, is this a potential lower high, right? But then it wasn't. And then we're looking here, was this going to be the next potential lower high? And then price was breaking down back here on the 15th. And we were already covering this on the live streams. We're covering the Discord. We're covering it on the X app, right? It's still going to take time for me to figure that one out. The X app, right? Hopefully the wife's not listening. She might get suspicious, right? I'm talking about the X app. Maybe she's thinking that I'm talking about an X on an app or something. So hopefully she's not getting suspicious over there. I've got nothing to hide. I'm live streaming. I'm a very loyal person. So anyways, price is breaking down. It was looking like a second lower high. In hindsight, it is a second lower high. And, once you start getting daily closes below here, weekly closes below here, then it's confirming that second lower high. So take a breath here. Oswaldo, welcome back, my man. Welcome back. Good morning, Jesse. Good morning, Oswaldo Flores. Thanks for coming back. Don't forget, Oswaldo, hit that like button. But thank you for commenting. And let me know if there's something you want me to chart later on in the live stream. So, it's crashing down, right? So me personally, I did take that short position. And me personally, on a lower time frame, I did take profit here. And I did mention that I may get back in on a lower time frame. And I did. And I took another multiple positions based off the lower time frame for the NASDAQ. So I'm short the NASDAQ. And so we're going to keep going. So I'm already ahead of the game, right? So I'm already ahead. playing with house money again, right? So when you're playing with the house money, and everything's lined up and everything's still rolling over, you know, you probably should stay in higher time frames, especially in the very beginning. But if you're feeling good about yourself, maybe you're dropping down to lower time frames, knowing that it could reverse back, come back up, a retest, put in a lower high at some point. So, and could this be like a temporarily double bottom? It's too early to say. It could find support, bounce back up. But being on the lower time frames, we would be prepared for that. All right, so we're still getting the vocabulary. We're still getting the language warmed up here this morning at 9 a.m. Who else we got here? Oh yeah, we've got Emmanuel here. Welcome back, Emmanuel, longtime sniper Discord member. Good morning, sniper team. Good morning. Good morning. Loving these live streams. I actually am too. I'm actually, I love posting the charts and being and dive into them. But one thing I am kind of missing in my life is spending time with people, whether it's on a live stream face to face or whatever. My background is real estate mortgage. So I did a lot of face to face, a lot of person to person meetings. I would say that, maybe I'm an extrovert overall, right? So I like to talk to people. I like, all that stuff. So not necessarily to myself for the camera, but I do like, having Dr. Nick on yesterday in a live stream and chatting it up with him for an hour and a half was awesome. We'll get to that. So anyways, I'm liking it too. And, forcing me to stay on these deeper dives and call it out in real time, right? Like high stakes. We're doing this live. This isn't recorded. I mean, it is being recorded for the replay crew, but it's not edited. We have to just be on our game and we have to be in the flow. Who else we got here? Kyle, good morning. What's up, Kyle? Welcome back. Thanks for commenting and coming back and spending your time with us. Colson, when is the next Friday jam session? Oh, that's, Colson is talking about the Discord. We have a Friday jam session. I was actually thinking about it yesterday, Colson. We should have it this Friday. We should have a Friday jam session. We only had 2 people that could commit to it. We had a lot of people watch it on the replay because, people are working. They have businesses to run. And or maybe they're sleeping because they're in a different time zone across the world. But I was definitely thinking about doing a Friday jam session this Friday, this week. Same time, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So tag me in the Discord, and if we can I would really like to have like 5 people on the call at least. So if we had 5 people commit, and then there's only 3 of us. So if we could have 5, I think it's awesome to have at least 5. And then, of course, it'll be recorded. So, help push that in the Discord. And I'll definitely have a Friday jam session this Friday. And we'll do that at like 12:30. So good call. Okay, let's keep going. We're 15 minutes in. We've only gotten through one chart. Can I get a free Discord trial? Ollie, I'll attend all calls, I promise. Yeah, well, there are ways to get like reimbursements in the Discord. Like we've been doing some giveaways on who's once you're in, we do have a small paywall, right? Like people have been scammed before that they've charged $1,000 for like, I've never charged $1,000, but they pretended to be me and they charged $1,000 to coach them and stuff. That's a scam. I don't charge that. We have a $79 package for recorded coaching. I don't do live coaching anymore. It's just too time consuming and drains a lot of energy from me. And I need all the energy I can get, being in my mid 40s. Right. So, but yeah, we don't have free trials. We don't do Cyber Mondays. We don't do, Black Fridays. We don't do any of that. We just keep the prices low year round. So, in my opinion, the prices are low. We haven't had a price increase in almost a year. I think it's been 10 months, and I don't see a price increase in the foreseeable future. But we keep adding tools for the snipers. We continue to add tools. It's been the same price for 10 months, and we've gone through multiple updates on the sharpshooter candles, RSI, all that stuff. So, but if you're the top contributor in one of our giveaways, then I have been sending reimbursements. So it is possible, if you're a top contributor, to get your first month reimbursed. We had a giveaway, a contest winner, and he got his very first month refunded to him. So he did pay up front, and then got an actual reimbursement of his first month. So it is possible. Okay, let's go. I'll come back to the comments here. That was the NASDAQ. We got the 10-year yield still ultra bullish on the daily chart, right? Ultra bullish. We got ultra bullish on the 10-year yield. We're up over 4.5%. We still have this long-term target that we mapped out a long time ago on the 10-year yield. Beware of that. We got the monthly chart, hasn't closed yet, but it's getting closer and closer. 10-year yield on the monthly chart is ultra bullish as well. So that's what we're watching. DXY is bullish on the daily chart. It's back above the trending dots on the monthly chart. The weekly chart continues to be bullish on the weekly chart, right? 2 targets been hit to the upside so far. The probabilities continue to stack that we're going to hit target 3 and then possibly target 4. So that's what we're watching on the DXY still. The VIX, we're talking about this way back here on the daily chart. Then we're talking about it on the weekly chart. The breakout, there was a buy signal. And after this breakout, target 1 had been hit, right? It was hit back here. It was retested back here. And now the probabilities continue to stack that the VIX is going to hit target 2. You look down on the daily chart, it's bullish, right? So we're watching this, was calling out potential breakout on the shorter term daily chart on the VIX here, right? I think it was more like that. So kind of, where was it? I think it was more like this. Right? Watching it, gapped up, right? Came back down, corrected, put in another bottom, right? Another bottom. And then we were watching it, buy signal, starting to break out on these lower trend lines here, like that, right? Back test, buy signal, break out of this longer term trend line. That was your follow through on the VIX. Consolidated for a couple days, and boom, back up to the upside. It's up another 8.88%. The VIX is a wild animal. We talked about that on previous live streams. Shout out to our own private live stream or public live streams. Remember, we're talking about the VIX can be wild, right? It can be wild. It can do something like that. So you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, if you're trading it. So I'm not currently in the VIX long position, but I have traded it on options before. I have caught lightning in a bottle. And like I said, this is like catching lightning in a bottle. We're going to take another look at the SQQQ. We're going to save that. We're going to also look at the Bitcoin. But first, we're going to circle back to those. We're going to look at the Magnificent 7. SQQ. I did a video on it, so definitely go check out the video. I spend a little bit more time on it as a potential buy scenario. And, what I talked about on that video was that it's the inverse of the NASDAQ. So if you weren't able to or you don't have experience shorting the NASDAQ on, say, futures or shorting the NASDAQ, like QQQs, the ETF of the NASDAQ, or S&P 500 or whatever it is that you're looking to short, this would be your inverse QQQ ETF. It's the short bear. So we're going to come back and take a look at that. And then, of course, we're going to jump into the comments and chart requests, stuff like that. So, but I want to jump over to the Magnificent Seven. We'll circle back with Bitcoin, that bonus potential, the SQQQ that I put out. So I'll obviously go take a look at that video. So let's jump into NVIDIA. Let's check into that. Let's go back to the weekly chart. Let's zoom out here a little bit, just a little bit. So again, longer term, we did have that bearish divergence, right? Continued bearish divergence, also a lower high. And then after that close down here, right? There was a weekly close down here. It took out this low here. So now you have a lower low. Price hasn't caught up yet, right? So I'm anticipating that RSI made a lower low after a lower high, after bearish divergence. I think it's just a matter of time that price takes out this lower low here. So you'd have, and then at some point we'll put in a lower high on the weekly chart as well. It already has on the daily chart, or has it? Yeah, I mean, there's slightly, you could say it has on the daily chart. So you had that bearish divergence. You could even say this is a sneaky lower high on NVIDIA, right? So the daily chart is still bearish, even if the weekly chart is not yet. So again, after coming down here and hitting this target, you could kind of see like price start to roll over here and then just come back down. And this was kind of like a, price closed down below, fake the bulls back up to the upside, possibly put in another sneaky lower high here and then roll back down. So wherever that lower high is, or if it does battle back up into the trending dots and then kind of rolls over after that. So that's NVIDIA. We're still looking at target 2 way down here below $360. Still looking at a massive 20% gap down here at about below $307, right? So that's NVIDIA, right? Still bearish on the daily. It's still bullish on the weekly chart, but it's just continuing to move down. Doesn't mean it couldn't get a bounce along the way and put in a lower high and then roll over after that. So we're going to keep going. Here's Meta, still holding on, still hasn't fully rolled over on the weekly chart. But if you look at the daily chart, let's kind of zoom in here in the daily so everyone can see it a little bit better. I'm assuming that's bearish divergence. Yep. Oh. So have the bearish divergence, right? The big breakdown. 2 targets were hit, followed by a lower high on the daily chart. Price broke down, put in another sneaky lower high, and then it's just been kind of battling. But you see the trending dots kind of leveling out, and then then flipped red, and everything's kind of starting to roll back over. We have another pending sell signal here. The buy signal, wouldn't really pay attention to that buy signal because it is below the trending dots, right? So, it doesn't look like this is a real buy signal. And so you would basically, kind of draw this out as the new downward trend, right? So you kind of like map it out like that. And it's still in this downward trend, right? So that's Meta. And we're going to keep going in the Magnificent Seven. We still want to cover Bitcoin, still want to cover that SQQQ, and still want to go through all the comments. So we're going to keep going. I see some more comments here. So we'll go through that as well. Let me just get through these final ones. So again, still trending down on Meta. All right, let's see. Amazon down 2.7% today, right? So down 2.7%. Looks like it's trending back down to the 200-week moving average. Also, eyeball test, probably looking at key target area here. probably a key target area right around here, right? Doesn't mean it won't put in a lower high at some point before that. Let's look at the weekly chart. After bearish divergence in the weekly chart, this is looking like a lower high here, and now it's just breaking back down. So, will Amazon, find support, something like this, and then come back down, and then we'll see if it comes back down like that. But as of right now, it is breaking down. We'll see if it's a longer term breakdown. If so, could we see price come back all the way down? Amazon and Meta, two of the five Magnificent Seven that's already came back down and retested the March 2020 lows. That's one of the things we've been talking about. Will the other five follow what Amazon and Meta has already done? As you can see, this is the March 2020 lows. Facebook, aka Facebook, Meta went all the way down below the March 2020 lows, right? Amazon retested the March 2020 lows, and so we're going to find out if the other ones do as well. So, weekly chart, still currently bullish, but it's been trending down. There was bearish divergence. The daily chart is bearish and is continued to drop there. So doesn't mean you can't get a bounce along the way. And any of those bounces would be that higher probability of short the lower high, short the bounce, right? That's what I'd be looking at as a swing trader. You got Microsoft, right? So you had, again, the bearish divergence. They're all looking very similar. Bearish divergence, lower high, breakdown after hitting target one. Microsoft, you get a daily close below here. That's going to take out this low. So that's going to put in, not only was it a lower high, that will confirm the lower high as it's putting in a lower low. So you get a daily close below today of 314, call it 314 and 40 cents, roughly, right? Or hold on. The close is here. So you get close below 316.42, right? Then that's going to take out this swing. So that was sneaky because, it's red because of the candle. So I had to turn it off. But, of course, RSI would be taking out this low as well. So there we go. That's Microsoft. We're going to keep going. Tesla, crowd favorite on Tesla. A lot of people like to look at it. Wow. Our current views right now is getting higher and higher. So shout out to all of you. Thank you for being here and being a part of this. We're going to help sniper the markets together. Every day, Monday through Friday. Even if I get sick, I don't get sick very often, but if I do get sick, I'll still try to power through. Maybe be a shorter one. Maybe if I'm out of town or golfing, then I wouldn't do a live stream, but I definitely have that planned out, right? Other than that, I plan to be here Monday through Friday and been posting shorter term videos. Yesterday, check it out. We did Chainlink. I put out a poll. Did you want me to do Google or Chainlink? And the tribe has spoken. 82% of the people who voted wanted me to do Chainlink. So we did. I might even do another one tonight. See how much energy I have. I got a lot of other things going on too. So we'll see. Let's keep going. Tesla. We're looking at it. There was the same bearish divergence, right? And the very similar after hitting target one. This one actually wasn't target one. There's multiple targets hit on this one, followed by a bounce and a lower high, right? Similar to NASDAQ. You had that potential lower high, and then this was the lower high. And then we were talking about there's a candle close below here, the trend line and the trending dots, followed by the sell signal, and then the bigger move down. And it's just trending downward, right? So you got RSI trending down, bearish on the daily chart. You have, even though the weekly chart is still technically bullish, It is trending down to become bearish, right? And then you did have a weekly close back below the trending dots. There was an RSI sell signal. So there are several signs that the weekly chart could flip bearish. And again, I don't wait for that personally. I'm on the daily chart typically. I just like to look at it as an overall. And is it lining up with the daily chart, right? So that's Tesla. Doesn't mean it can't come in, put in a lower high, possibly fill that very, very tiny little gap, and then roll over to hit, possibly hit these lower targets and retest the 200-week moving average. It's possible, right? So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just take it level by level. Apple was a $3 trillion asset, currently at 2.7 trillion. So we're seeing this continue to go lower. Target 2. If we have any math wizards out there, Olson, you're still on here. If price hits $170, what do you think the market cap will be for Apple? Will it be 2.6 trillion? Who knows? I'm not doing the math. I'm not spending the time to do it. But it will be continuing to go lower. It's basically from the all-time wick, right? And dropped 13%. It's currently down almost 13% right now, and it is bearish. Put in a lower high. It's looking like a lower high here. The probabilities continue to stack to hit target 2, right? Look at the weekly chart. Ooh, Apple's been kind of leading the way. We've been watching Apple lead the way on the Magnificent Seven, right? And you got that bearish divergence on Apple, followed by that lower high, breakdown of this longer rally here. You got that lower high here. Then you had another sell signal here on the weekly chart a couple weeks ago. We've been talking about it on the streams. Take this off. And then it's just been another weekly bearish close. And then this would be, I believe this would be the first weekly close below here. That would confirm the lower high, and that would put in a lower low, and mostly likely be around target 2. So that's Apple. As you can see, it's trending downwards. It's bearish on the weekly chart, and it continues. Google, we're watching it from the very top. Bearish divergence. Let's drop down the daily chart. We're watching this in real time on the live stream. Back up here, bearish divergence. We're talking about it, and then boom, sell signal, price dropped, bearish divergence, right? Longer term bearish divergence. It's very close to that first target box. So is it now when the price could find support? Someone front runs my first target box, toe taps it, right? Taps it right there. Doesn't, it's not deep enough for me to want to, it pierced it. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say target 1 was hit. I know it's not a deep target hit, but the target was hit. Price pierced it. Will it find support here? Kind of roll, put in that lower high, maybe fill this gap, right? Maybe it's more like something like that, right? Or a partial fill like Apple. And then that would be your next potential short the bounce, short the lower high. Could it be something similar to that? It's possible. But right now, it's still bearish on the daily chart, and it could continue to move down further. You do have a gap here. You've got more targets, and you got gaps. So doesn't mean there's going to be bounces immediately. Eventually, there's going to be a bounce. But it could continue to move straight down on Google. Now let's switch back over to the Sniper Top 40. Let's look at Bitcoin. What is it doing today? I kind of drew out this downward daily channel, right? It's a contracting daily channel, but it is currently bearish on the daily chart. The trending dots are starting to roll back over, right? We had this trend line built out after, the After target 2 was hit, we were watching it, and then price broke down, had that sell signal. Price went sideways and then had another sell signal. And so it's back down below it, right? So we were watching this out in real time on the Bitcoin updates. There's been several Bitcoin updates on the video that are recorded videos, and then live streams too. So we've been watching it. It's currently bearish on the daily chart. We know that it's been bearish on the weekly chart, right? So after that bearish divergence, we're talking about a breakdown. Could this be like a very shallow lower high before price comes back down and hits this third target to the downside, right? So that's what we're kind of watching. The trending dots continue to move downward. And so on the daily chart, it's kind of got like this downward. It's not even a channel because it's not a parallel channel, right? So, but I kind of drew these out. And so could we see something like, obviously it could come back up, but at some point come back down, retest it, right? Is that possible? Sure. So we're gonna take it level by level and we're gonna watch it. But as of right now, the weekly chart is bearish, the daily chart is bearish, and so it is trending back down along with the NASDAQ. So we got some new comments. We're definitely gonna check it out. We're gonna look at everyone's comments here. We're gonna look at one more before we jump into the comments and before we start charting everyone's stuff. We're right at 37 minutes. Let's look at SQQQ. Okay, so I did a longer video on this one. Was it longer? No, I think it was like, I recorded a video on it. So let's take a look here. This is the weekly chart, right? Talking about this one as a potential. It's a bear ETF of the QQQ, the NASDAQ ETF, right? So this is the bear version, potential breakout. We talked about there was a RSI buy signal in that video. There was a potential higher low, right? Potential higher low. And then price was coming up into this trend line. And, even if you move the trend line to this pivot here, we're talking about it could have already been a breakout. We've got a green trending dot here, right? Could have been a back test and then level off. But just to be kind of like even a little bit more higher probability, I had moved it to like that. And it's up currently 3.27% today, right? 3.27%. If you look at the daily chart, it's bullish on the daily chart. Had that buy signal, and then the trending dots even the trending dots on the daily chart are starting to could start to break out of the downward trend line. So those are all positives for potentially price coming up and hitting that first target. Why do we care? Well, if you don't really know how to take a short position or a short, this would be basically like you taking a short position because you're buying SQQQ. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. And the name of the video was high risk, right? And there was some dice on it. So roll the dice, stack the probabilities, and it is very high risk. And if you want to know why, I talk about it a little bit more there. But there is some potential here. You've got some targets, and this is the weekly chart, and there's the daily chart. So that's why we're watching it. That's why it's on the thing. Let's go back to the comments. We talked about Ollie. Can I get a free Discord trial? We talked about that. G-Rod. Good morning, G-Rod, and everyone. Welcome back, G-Rod. Good to see you back. I was about to purchase the membership. I was half jokingly saying this, but I really like your response. We'll definitely join. Yeah, I mean, I see other, not that I compare myself, but I do see other subscriptions out there that are like almost twice as much money. and I've back tested their stuff. I've looked at it briefly, and we're half the price. We're a small sniper community that we're all looking to sniper the markets together, and we're continuing to build tools out. So I made these prices. I think I updated these prices almost like 9 months ago, Ollie, and I haven't changed them, but I keep adding more tools, including, which I haven't even really talked about on the website. We have a sniper dashboard that we just rolled out in beta test version 1. So I haven't even posted that or updated on the website. There's only so much time in the day, but you do have access to that as well. So there are tools, there are visions of what the next tools to be built out. The wheels are already in motion. We're always looking to continue to update those tools, and we don't have any price increases. So we keep the prices, I believe, is undervalued price, right? So that's what I believe. So, and we have snipers in the Discord. 40% of them have been in the sniper Discord, the sniper Discord for more than a year, and those prices will never increase on them, but we're going to continue to increase the tools and try to help everyone out. Fertilizer, the $79 package is really cheap for what is covered. I'm very happy for having upgraded my subscription. Fertilizer, yes, thank you. I know your name in the Discord, so glad you're a part of it. We're going to continue to get better fertilizer. We're going to continue to add more tools to help you become profitable and help shorten the curve. If you're brand new to trading, swing trading, or wanting to do your own longer term investments, our system, our package, our 60 plus hours of recorded coaching, sniper community, all that stuff. I think it helps shorten the curve, right? The learning curve. So I'm glad you're here. Andre Britz, Jesse, welcome back, Andre. You're back every day. Awesome. Good to see you back. Who else? Colson, sorry, had a work call. The market cap at 170 would be roughly, my man. So market cap at 170 on Apple would be roughly 2.6 trillion, right? Yep. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Apple at 150 would be market cap at about 2.368 trillion. I knew someone would do the math. One of our snipers would do the math on it. It was over 3 trillion. Colson let me know on a previous live stream that I knew it was over 3 trillion. He said it was like 3.06 or 3.08 trillion at the time. And so it's at 2.7 trillion now, according to TradingView, right? According to TradingView. We'll move that. Okay. So I don't see too many requests. I do see the RNDR. Yep. I do see RNDR requests. So get those chart requests in. And I see Adam. Okay. I'll do Adam. And do I see any other ones? Sorry for here's RNDR again. Sorry for not clearing that. Yes, it's about RNDR USD. Reason, the chart is my learning chart. Got it. I want to understand it deeply, and it drives me crazy. So I hope for overall analysis. Okay, fertilizer. A couple things on that. I've talked about this in coaching as well. So this is a quick little coaching before we chart it and go into it. I really like charting things that have more history. That's number one. Number two, crypto altcoin is going to be a wild animal. So if you're still learning, you're still fresh to the swing trading game, would it be beneficial to learn on, say, a lesser wild animal like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is still plenty wild, trust me. But would it be more beneficial to learn on Bitcoin versus RNDR because it has more chart history? It is a bigger market cap, so it's not going to be as wild, right? So my personal opinion, and it's just that a personal opinion, if you're learning and you're newer to the game and you want to learn crypto, I would say learn and chart Bitcoin personally. That's what I personally did when I first got into crypto. I moved from options over to Bitcoin, and I basically only traded Bitcoin and learned that first and foremost, and then moved to leverage, right? So leverage on Bitcoin. So RNDR, I had other people want me to chart it, so let's look at it here. RNDR, I still have it on the chart. Let's look at it on the weekly chart. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. So RNDR USD, 45 minutes in. 45 minutes in. So on this chart, the history starts in November 2021, right? And went all the way up to $7.95. Since then, it's been in a bear market. So similar to a stock when it IPO'd, right? Or when it got onto this particular Binance exchange, it was listed on the Binance exchange, wherever it was, whether it was down here at 2.5, pumped up for 1 week. That's a pump and dump, right? It got listed on Binance, or coin got coin on the stock market, got listed as an IPO, pumped and dumped, and then went pretty much into a bear market after that, right? So you got to be careful of that. There are pump and dump influencers out there, companies out there. You got to watch out for all that. So be careful getting caught up in the hype. Maybe someone made some money here, but it's like catching lightning in a bottle. And for me, I just prefer more history. RNDR, it's starting to get some history behind it. There's no 200-week moving average yet, but it will in the near future. But after this last rally, right, this 2023 rally, it's just been going bearish after that. So you can see here, I don't know if you can see it here. You've got bearish divergence picking up here, right? There's additional bearish divergence here. And so that was signaling a potential trend change. And then you've got, the RSI sell signal, prices back below the trending dots. Then you finally had a sell signal on the weekly chart and still continuing to trend downward. This is looking like a lower high on RNDR. And so if you're dropping down to the daily chart, I think someone had me map this out on the daily chart. Be looking at more like, let's see, probably something more like that, right? So that would be kind of like the daily chart. And then if you tightened up your trend lines, you can see where that might be like your signal to like, hey, maybe I should be taking profit, right? Maybe I should be taking profit. You see price continue to break down. At some point, like if you're in a long position, right? At some point, at what point do you consider taking profit and getting out of a long position, right? So this is looking like a lower high, and it's currently bearish on the daily chart. It's currently bearish on the weekly chart, and so you've got an eyeball test here. You're looking at, another key target area, probably right around here, and then see if it finds support. At some point, it could put in a higher low, and then maybe it finds support and bounces from there. But that's a lot of speculation. Right now, it's still bearish on the daily, still bearish on the weekly, and all the rest is just speculation, right? But that's what we do. We're speculators. We speculate. Okay, what else? I think I saw Adam. So let's see. It sounds like I'm saying Adam, but I'm not. It's Adam. A Tom. What else? No other comments. Nope. Nobody else wants me to chart anything today. Okay. Well, I guess we'll close it at an hour. Let's look at. I know I have that on the Sniper Top 40. I believe I have it on this watch list here. Rivian up 6%. Rivian. Oh, speaking of coin, right? Speaking of coin, you've got still bearish on the week daily. If you look at the weekly, right? So you had the IPO back here, and then that's ever since the IPO, right? So unless you're an early investor before IPOs, you haven't made money if you bought in back then when the CEO was selling his stocks, right? So it's all recorded. The CEO, he has to file with the SEC that he's selling his stocks way back here, right? So that's coin. But not to get distracted and off course, I'm just going to type it in, and we'll go Adam. And then I've got Binance here, so we'll just take a look at it. Still bearish on the daily chart, Phantom. Oh, Phantom, good morning. Good morning, Phantom. Oh, Pranay Merchant, Solana. Okay, I got it. I didn't see those. So yeah, we got Solana to take a look at, but we're gonna go back to Phantom's request at Adam. No, I'm not saying Adam. Adam. Okay, I crack myself up, right? I crack myself up. If you don't think yourself is funny, then no one else is going to think you're funny, and they still might not. I've got dad jokes for days, right? Dad jokes for days. Still bearish on Adam, right? Still bearish. That was a little bounce there after bullish divergence. Looks like the bullish divergence could be cleared out, right? You got that bounce after the bullish divergence, and that could be it. The daily chart is bearish as of right now. Let's see if we can take a look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart is still bearish, right? So the overall trend is just still trending downward. At some point, could it put in a double bottom here on the wick? It's possible, right? You got a wick there. Keep zooming out. You've got a lot of old price action back here, right? December 2020. So maybe it finds support there. Maybe this is a potential double bottom on the weekly chart. That's speculation. We don't know, right? It could continue to go through a bottoming phase. So that goes back to like June 2022. You have so looking at that, let's take a look. If this is a double bottom on RSI, it could be slight bullish divergence, Phantom. So if that's slight bullish divergence, that means that we have a slightly, right? Yeah, a slightly lower low here on price, slightly higher low on RSI. So that could be slight bullish long-term divergence, and but there's no signs of strength yet on the weekly chart. There's no signs of strength yet, so we're looking for higher probability setups, and so it's a wait and see. It's at some point there could be a bigger bounce, as we talked about, on because we've covered this already, and we'll continue to cover it. If you want me to cover it on a regular basis, make sure to keep commenting and letting me know that, and then we will. So, but that's way too early to say. And so it's currently bearish on the daily, currently bearish on the weekly chart. And so we'll see. It's possible it comes back down and then puts in like a higher low on the daily chart, and then maybe starts to flip around. So it seems like if there is going to be a reversal at some point, and we're waiting for that, I don't have any plans to take position on Adam, but doesn't mean it won't happen in the future, especially if we're covering it more often. But I would be waiting for a higher probability reversal before I would personally, start putting capital into it. So that's Adam. Let's keep going. Ooh, we got some new comments too. Awesome. Pranay Merchant, Solano. Okay, yeah, that's definitely on our Sniper Top 40 watch list. And it's even on our crypto and stock screener, right? So our crypto and stock screener, Solano is a part of that. So we talked about this in previous streams, right? Start talking about back here. There is a possibility that, you know, uh, it could break out of this downward trend line, but since that last sell signal, it's still currently bearish. Today would be a daily candle close back below the trending dots, which would increase the probability. It hasn't closed, and I'm a big fan of the closes more so than the wicks, right? That's my own personal preference from staring at charts obsessively over time. I know a lot of traders out there who follow wicks and stuff. And yes, I do draw trend lines based off of wicks for the most part. But candle closes, I feel like, tell me a lot more than the wicks itself. So if you get a candle close below, right, when the daily chart is bearish, could mean that we could put in future bullish divergence. Obviously, it could mean that we put in a higher low as well, and then that could be a potential breakout to the upside. But that, again, that's a lot of speculation. Right now, it's currently bearish on the daily chart, and on the weekly chart, it's currently bearish on the weekly chart. So, zooming out here on the weekly chart, still bearish. The trending dots are still going down. So at this point, if you're taking long positions, you're guessing, right? It's full on guess. And if you're going to run investing, you're going to run your own investments and you're going to run your own swing trades, right? You're guessing, and that's not what you want to do. You want to wait for a higher probabilities of a reversal. If you're looking for a long position, if you're in a short position, let me know what you're doing so we can talk about it in real time on context. If you're in a bear, if you shorted this, you're probably trying to push this trade as long as possible to the downside, right? So you just have to kind of decide, let me know what you're talking about. But you can see where this, before the bull run for Solano in January 2021, maybe price comes all the way back down here. It's possible. So that's why you don't want to guess, right? You want to wait for that reversal. And, so it's currently bearish on the weekly chart and the daily chart. You wouldn't be guessing to take a long position yet, right? Not if you're treating this like a business. So that's Solana. We had some new comments. Let's take a look. Thanks for commenting those. Let's see. Oh, I missed this one. G-Rod. Disney getting close to that $79 level. Okay, is that the March 2020 low? Let's take a look. Disney. Where are you? Where are you, Disney? If I can't get a quick scroll on Disney, then I'll just type it in. All right, fine. You win. Disney. Okay, there it is. All right, where is it? There it is. So $80. It's bull. Okay, let's take a look. Weekly chart is bearish. Let's kind of zoom in here on the candles. Zoom out, I should say. Yeah, so you have the March 2020 low wick right here, right? Like you said, it's getting very close to that. So many stocks like the Magnificent, well, no, only two of the Magnificent Seven, but many, this is what I was trying to say on the Magnificent Seven. Many stocks like Disney, Amazon, and several other stocks, Meta, Netflix, I'm pretty sure, have already come back down, or if not gone lower than March 2020 low, right? So it's getting very, very close to retesting the March 2020 low. And basically price going all the way back to 2014, right? So this is why I talk about, I'm not a buy and holder. I'm a swing trader. Whether that, even if I was just a swing trader on the weekly chart, there's no way I would just hold it indefinitely. I would want to take profit. I would want to realize gains because there's never a guarantee. What if price comes back to 2014 levels on something that you're holding long term because of, Nvidia's got the best chips ever, because my new laptop to handle these streams is gaming and it has Nvidia GeForce in it. It doesn't mean I don't like the product. It doesn't mean that I don't have an Apple iPhone. It means I'm staring at the charts and I want to take advantage of swing trading, whether that's to the downside or to the upside, right? So I'm, if you can't tell, I'm stomping the ground gently. I don't know for effect, right? Let's see. So the weekly is bearish, right? Let's drop down the daily chart. Daily is bearish. We don't know yet. There are gaps to the upside. Eventually, gaps will get filled, but we don't know when those gaps get filled. Could be a long time before a gap gets filled. Could be tomorrow. We don't know. They work great as what I always say is gaps work great for targets, but not even every gap gets filled. So, is it a big enough gap for the market or the market makers to pay attention to and fill that gap? That's a whole different story. But still bearish. Seems like it's closing in on that March 2020 low and retesting full round trip from there, right? So that's Disney. What else we got? Private Discord is definitely Ollie. The private Discord access is definitely one of the better price packages in the space. Oh man, thanks, Ollie. I appreciate that. What's your Discord name? Because everyone's got a different Discord name, Twitter name, or I'm sorry, X app name, YouTube name. So email is different. I can't keep everybody straight. I think that's why I just been keeping my name as Jesse Olson, very plain, but it's the same across all of them. Ooh, we got some more comments now. We got people that actually want me to go in chart. Let's do it. All right, the private Discord. Thank you for saying that. I'm curious, Ollie, let me know or message me in private direct message me in Discord, Ollie, if let me know that you're Ollie Jawad on YouTube. So I definitely like to know who all the Discord members are. Okay, what else? Emmanuel, can we do? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. There it is. We get a lot of requests on it, so I already have it on the watch list. Daily chart is currently bearish, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, crypto on Binance. Yep, got it. Are you currently in a short position, Emmanuel, or are you looking at something more like wait patiently for buy the dip, right? Bearish on the daily chart. It seems like it's in correction mode. There was on the weekly chart, there was a nice move up, right? So even like a weekly close, you here up to the wick, 450% bounce, right? Amazing. This looks like a lower high, right? Price started breaking back down below the trending dots on the weekly chart. It's too early to say. Maybe it finds support on RSI, but maybe not. You can see like after that massive bounce, you would think there would be kind of a retracement here, possibly back down to that $4 range, Emmanuel. If you want to take a deeper dive, in the Discord, feel free to let me know. But the trending dots are continuing to move down, but I can just see like eyeball test. It seems like bigger players wouldn't buy unless it came down further, maybe even all the way down to like, eyeball test down back down to here. and waiting patiently for a next possible move up, because it was a 450% buy. Now, with that said, right, if you start seeing like a breakout to the upside and it starts to break out like that, and you're looking at it like a daily chart, maybe you're taking position, right? So that's just something you have to decide, the time frame you're on, you know, do you think it's finding support, all that stuff. So if you're looking from the upside, maybe you're waiting, and then looking for like some sort of a retracement to the upside like that. So that would be kind of your scenario for the downside or the upside, depending on the time frame that you're looking at. Let's keep going. We're over an hour as usual. Love it. We're starting to get a lot of the comments back in, and people want me to chart their stuff. So let's do it. Let's do it for all of you. Thanks for supporting. Let's see. Yep, got it. Sure. Thanks for Adam. You got a Phantom. Thank you. Per 06, could the coaching videos be divided into basic version, e.g. 5 to 10 hours for the basic plan and the remaining? I thought about that per 06, but here's the issue. It's like, it's a lot of work, right? So, it already seems like the prices are pretty low. So like I personally manually have to go in. Like if you were to sign up for the $79 plan, I have to go into the Discord and add you to 6 private channels personally. I have to do that for every single time. So if you were to get like a half of that package, and then if you were to like cancel the first month, right? And then I have to personally add you to 2 indicators, and it just becomes a lot of that, right? So, and then if you do like a basic plan and then decide to like upgrade later, which we do, we have people jump into the $29 just to take a look, and then they realize that, oh, well, they want more and they want to take a deeper dive of the $79, then I have to go in and personally manually upgrade them to 70. So it does become a lot of work. So I just keep it super simple. I'm all about keeping life super simple because life has enough curveballs. Life has enough challenges along the way, and I want to keep things as simple as possible. So I only have 2 options right now, and so it's kind of like you're either all in or you're kind of like not, and you're doing the $29 and you get the sharpshooter candles, stuff like that. But if you want to take a deeper dive, you have to go all in on the 79. So it's just a lot of work, and I got to keep working on sniper tools, keep making it better, not more better, keep continuing to build better and better, and create more stuff. So let's keep going. About the basic plan yesterday, awesome. I didn't know, my mistake, that there were no coaching videos there, and now I'm trying to figure out how to watch them. But here's the thing. Per 06, and welcome aboard, by the way. Welcome aboard. I did see a new member come in, so welcome. I didn't realize that was you. Here's what you could do. Since you're in the $29 version, there's I think there's more than 100 video updates, right? And of course, we're doing new videos all the time, especially with these live streams. If you went back to old live update recorded updates in the Discord, I show all the details in those videos, right? So you could kind of mirror that, and you wouldn't necessarily have to if you can kind of mirror what I was doing and kind of copy what I was doing in the $29 version and see my old live recorded video updates, you probably get a good feel for it. But if you do want to take a deeper dive, don't worry, just direct message me. I could send you a separate link so you don't have to cancel and restart. I'll send you a separate link. So just let me know. That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Welcome. Manuel, would you like to short it? Would like to short it, but higher time frame are still bullish, and been fighting this one for some time, but has held strong. I always end at BE with this one. You know what I talk about, Emmanuel? You know, for a long time, it's like if you've been fighting an asset for any length of time, is it worth fighting the asset, or is it worth finding something that looks a little bit easier to chart and then a little bit easier to trade, right? So is there an easier one, right? Why make it so difficult? Because it had a 450% pump? Okay. What if you did an easier one with a little bit of leverage, right? You know, that's another option, right? So if maybe it would be easier to do like a Bitcoin short or a Bitcoin long position with a little bit of leverage, and you still get kind of like that's what I did. Like, you know, I'm not saying you should use leverage to your ready, but these these altcoins are more difficult to trade, even with spots. So they're quick and fast and wild mover. So if maybe you do like a Bitcoin or an Ethereum with like light leverage, like you don't have to jump into 10x leverage, but what if you did 2 or 3x leverage? You would still get a feeling of like more upside or something. But you know, if it's so difficult, right? Maybe it's not the asset to trade, right? So just keep that in mind. Like, don't force it. Uh, let the trades come to you. If they're not coming to you, at some point, maybe you move on to a different asset, right? That's just my 2 cents. You know, what do I know? Oswaldo Flores back again. What's up? Stock DDD. Okay, I don't think I don't have this on my watch list. Oswaldo, let me know. Per 06, all good. Oswaldo, let me know if you're what's your game plan? Like, are you in a position? Are you looking to get in a position? Like, what are you really looking at? So DDD, I'm looking at 3D Systems Corporation, right? This will be the first time ever charting this, so I've never charted it before, and so we're going to look at it from a higher standpoint, right? Let's zoom out. I've never charted 3D Systems Corporation before, so we're going to look at a higher time frame. Let's zoom out. Oswaldo, let me know if you're still here. Comment, and if you are, great. We'll dive in a little bit deeper. If not, then I'll kind of just do a quick recap on it. Oh, too much water. Okay, excuse me. We got looking for a position. Okay, a long position or a short position? You know, because we swing trade to both. Going back to March 2014, looks like you put in an all-time high, right? So all-time high 2014 at $97. Since then, you could say that it's been in a bear market, right? It's bearish, long position. Okay. So so you're waiting patiently for a long position. Got it. Right. Okay. So it's been in a bear market since 2014, since having a peak at over $97, right? So let's keep dropping down. You can see this pivot point here, March 2009. Seems like it wants to come back down and retest that. March 2009 is that would be 100% retracement from 2009, and that would be at about $1.37, right? So $4.42 sounds like it's a good value, right? But what if it comes all the way back down? That would be another drop of 69%. So even if you looks like it's a great value here at Oswaldo, I am all about waiting for a higher probability reversal, letting the ship get turned around, even if it seems like it's on sale, right? It's down 95%. What if you bought now and it came back down to the March 2009 low pivot point, and it dropped another 70%, and you're holding, right? So me, I'm always in the camp of waiting for a higher probability reversal. Let's drop down to the lower time frame, see what you're seeing. It's ultra bearish on the weekly chart, right? Ultra bearish as of right now. So there's no, it's bearish on the monthly chart. It's ultra bearish on the weekly chart. The 200-week moving average is way up here at $13. At some point, it could retest it, but what if it's way down here by then? I mean, it could be bearish for a long time, and maybe it doesn't retest until the 200-week moving average is way down here. Let's see, on the daily chart, are there any gaps to look at? Not really seeing any recent gaps. The daily chart is also ultra bearish. I don't know anything about the fundamentals of 3D systems. I've never charted it before. Earnings, right? Negative. Who knows, right? Is it one of those companies that inside and out? Will it survive the bear market, right? Will it survive this bear market? It's tough to say because not all companies survive. Not all crypto assets survive. So, as of right now, it's not a buy for me because it's ultra bearish on the daily, ultra bearish on the weekly, and bearish on the monthly chart. So that's DDD. Oh, good. Yep. Looking for position. Got it. Long position. All right. So if there's nobody else, get your comments in. If you want me to chart something, I'll take a quick look at. I don't see anyone on the X app that has commented that you want me to look at anything. Let me know. And otherwise, we'll call it here. It's 1 hour, 17 minutes into the live stream. Thanks everyone for showing up. Oh, we got one more comment. Hold on. Let's see what Emmanuel says. Yep, totally right on that call, Jesse. This one is like you're talking about Inge, I believe, right? My personal challenge, only trading like the weak lunch money, but definitely not fighting this one for my portfolio growth. Okay, got it. Well, my thoughts about trading lunch money. I'm okay with taking some lightning in the bottle or whatever. But remember our talk from yesterday, and Nick mentioned a great thing that we talked about in the past is your mental bandwidth. If it's taking mental bandwidth, even trading lunch money, and it's like frustrating you on any level, what if you channel that energy into waiting for that and stalking for that next move on your portfolio growth, right? What if you channeled all of it into your next trade, right? You really studied and you checked off all your boxes and everything's good to go, right? So that's my thoughts on it, but it's lunch money at the end of the day. So if you you're not going to lose sleep over losing lunch money. You don't want to lose lunch money. We want to turn lunch money into dinner money, a nice steak dinner money, but you won't lose any sleep over it. Oswaldo, thanks, Jesse. Yes, thanks, Oswaldo. And with that, we're going to call it here. Appreciate everyone's support, everyone liking it, commenting the assets they want, questions, all that stuff, and sharing, of course. So until tomorrow, thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next one.